Look at him. He's just dickered. Just dickered, boys. Son of a bitch.
Yo, yo. Class A, and macro. Not connected, not elected to participate. Bouncing down the stems will make your head hurt. Enjoy the takes.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Take or Wide. This is episode 244. If you guys haven't ordered a shirt, I'm kind of starting off these episodes this way just because I still have them, and it'd be dope to sell them. So if you go to takeorwide.com, you can see the shirts there. Shawnee designed them, a.k.a. Wormzilla, a.k.a. guitar player in Sabatini. Fantastic design. Shawnee's so skilled, and if you want to support the show, it's a great way to support it. Support Shawnee, support this, and in a way support Ironclad Graphics too, because they printed them. I have small, mediums, and larges left. Just go take a look and grab a shirt, wear it to a show. It'd be cool. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, you guys can do that. It's on the homepage. You know what? Fuck. How are you guys doing? I feel good. I feel reinvigorated to do this show. It's been a busy bit of time, and when this thing is prepped and when it's executed well, it feels good. It makes me feel good. It's like a good show. You practice, and when you execute well, it feels good after a good set. Me and Mark just had some shows this weekend, and or this past weekend. I guess this will be a couple weekends ago when you guys hear this, but it just fucking feels good. When there's a string of shows, I remember why this shit rules. Part of it is that prep and the execution. I don't know if that's goal setting or what, but this is a branch of that. It feels good when it's done well, and I always want to do well. I feel like a chump if in my heart I feel like it wasn't a good one. So I feel better about it, and I'm always grateful for the listeners. So thank you guys. Let me jump into the sponsors. I just cut out of what I was saying. Yeah, newsletter, blah blah blah, whatever. The sponsors, these guys help me get these episodes to you, so just take a second to check them out, like their page, talk about their page, mention it, anything helps these guys. This is advertising, and this is lots of word of mouth shit, right? We're all in underground bands, and a lot of us don't have budgets for ads. Fuck a Facebook ad for any type ad, you know? So it helps that you guys listen to these and just show them some love. Let me bang these out here. Heartbeat Hot Sauce is the first sponsor. They are a hot sauce company from Thunder Bay. The peppers are fermented using traditional methods before being cooked with a few simple high-quality ingredients. There's no water or thickening agents or chemical preservatives of any kind, and it makes their sauce as natural as it gets. They were on season 6 of Hot Ones, which is fantastic. They had crazy huge celebrities loving their sauce, and it's a friend. My friend Al runs it with his partner Nancy, and he was on episode 221 if you want to go back and listen to that. Just love this dude, and talking to him about his passion for hot sauce. It's so legit. And he's succeeding like crazy. So I feel like I'm the little brother to him in that regard, and I'm just so proud of him, man. Fuck. So if you guys haven't tried it, you fucking should go. You can get it on online if you go to heartbeathotsauce.com and use the promo code TakerWide5. It's in stores across Canada. It's easy to find. Take a look, and I'm sure you guys can fucking find it. So heartbeathotsauce.com. Find them on Instagram. Dfa Tattoos is next. It's a tattoo shop in Montreal. You can find them at 328 St. Catherine Est. And it's a collective of driven and skilled artists with the goal of creating the best tattoos. Everyone there kicks fucking ass. I don't know how often you guys are in Montreal, or if you're a Montreal listener and thinking about getting a tattoo, but go there. Yeah, I could say, and a lot of my friends have been there, have been tatted by these artists, and it's a fantastic spot. It's a safe, clean, professional spot, and easy to find. So if you guys go to dfatattoos.com, you can find more info there. Find them on the Facebook and everywhere, Instagram, all that shit. It's tatouage_DFA_tattoos. I'm sure if you just type in DFA Tattoos, you can find it. But really stoked to be with them. They are great. Go find them. Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota is a car salesman out in Kitchener, and Rigo is my good fucking friend. One of my first friends I made when I moved to Cambridge, and we've, our lives have kind of, I can't say grown together at the same pace, but he's a family man. I'm a family man now, and he's a supporter of the DIY ethic, and you can see it in him supporting the show. So if you need a new car, or if you know someone who's looking to buy a new car in the 519 area, go find Rigo at Hefner Toyota out in Kitchener. They're at 3121 King Street East. Mention the show and you'll get special pricing on new vehicles. I wish I had the cash to buy a fucking new vehicle, but 100,000 million bazillion % would go to Rigo. So Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota, all love to him. Ironclad Graphics is a screen printing company in Kingston, and they print everything. They do stickers, they do patches, embroidered patches, fucking... I could list and list, but just go to ironcladgraphics.com and you can check it out. Now they're in Kingston, but they're still affordable and they're still competitive with their pricing. They ship coast to coast every day, and they've been doing it for a long ass time. All my fucking bands have printed merch through them, so go check out Ironclad Graphics on Instagram as well. Show them some love, get some shirts from them. Simple as that. Dapper Beard Oil is next. Dapper Beard Oil is a beard oil company from Ottawa. They have the 3 types, the black tusk number 2, the gold tusk, and the scent free. Again, if you want to support local business or small business, this is just a small crew of dudes, if not mostly just Andrew. He was on episode 177. You could find it, Andrew Rashad. And they make a really fucking good beard oil, and he's been doing it for years and years now. It's really exciting. I feel like I'm part of that team with this little show to try to do something your own way. It's great shit. I've had it. It helps your beard. It helps hydrate it. It's antibacterial. It reduces beard dandruff. It's super, super legit and packaged really well. It's super pro stuff. If you guys use promo code TakerWide free ship, you get free shipping. So save some money. Christmas is coming. Buy one for a friend. Buy it for yourself. Go like their page. Show them love. All that shit, man. DapperBeardOil.com. Really good company. Wellington Brewery is Canada's oldest independently owned microbrewery. They are from Guelph. They do some really cool community conscious events and causes. They support some good causes. They had the 25 cents of each can of Queen of Craft Grisette was donated to the Guelph Wellington Women in Crisis, which is cool as hell. And if you're from around here, you know Wellington, man. It's crazy they're on board with this. Does that diminish me maybe a little bit? It's crazy I accepted it, eh? No. It's fucking dope that they help me out, they support, and they provide delicious beers. So all love to Wellington Brewery. And lastly, Dave Levin Photography. Man, Dave's the best. He's a photographer here in Cambridge. Just so down and so pro. I hold Levin in high esteem because he does good work and he takes himself seriously. And he invests in himself and no slouch. If you're looking for photos for shows or whatever else you need a photo of that you want to look great, get a hold of Levin. He's the shit. You can find him on Instagram, find him on Facebook. Levitt's the man. So again, all love to these sponsors, guys. They really fucking help me out. So for this episode, I'm speaking to Keegan. He plays in Botfly from Halifax. Last year, we did play with them a couple times, and we're all mutual friends with friends of friends. It's just when that bubble, it's like a soap bubble hitting another soap bubble, and then it absorbs it. That's what happened with these cats, where it's just like, oh, now we're friends. So we've been in touch, and I'm excited to talk to Keegan. They're coming out this way. When this thing airs, yeah, they'll be coming up right away. They might be like in town when you guys hear this. So we're going to talk about the history of the band. We're going to talk about their plans, how they execute shit. And I'm excited. Always excited to do these when I'm prepped, which I am for this one. So this is 244 with Keegan. Awesome. I tried to do this with some other kid. And it was like I had the wrong date. Like, I texted him, like, hey, are we doing this tonight? And he's like, man, you said next week. I'm like, oh, fuck. So then the next week I tried, and then he couldn't hear me talking, and it was a fucking pain. I was like, oh, fuck.
Fuck, you got a whole setup, man.
A little bit, man. I upgraded to a split screen, so it's not popping like crazy. I gotta move this so I'm, like, not looking, like, to the side. Yeah, it's a little, like, you know, to be like this would be better, but I don't know. Figuring it out.
It's all good.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Yeah. I just crush some Domino's pizza, and
Hell yeah.
I'm just chilling.
You said you work tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I work Monday to Friday.
Oh, electrician? No, I can't remember.
I'm a welder.
Welder, okay.
Yes, close enough.
Yeah, it's like your pops' gig, right?
Yeah,
like your pops owns the place?
Yeah, he runs the show. He started the business.
Cool.
So, yeah. I work for him, and coming up on 7 years now.
Damn. Yeah, we talked a little bit in Windsor about like your guys' gigs, and that must be at least an easy transition to be like, hey, Dad, I'm taking a tour again.
Not really.
No, eh? Shit.
Well, yes and no. I wouldn't say it's difficult, but he definitely wishes I was more into the family biz, so to speak.
I see. Yeah, I guess it's a little different because it's not just a gig. Like, it could be your business if you really wanted it. Yeah, I see.
That's not the way I want to go, though, and he knows that. So, you know, like, that would be a very easy, good life to kind of roll right into, but sometimes you don't want it, right? So
it's probably a timing thing too. Like, I don't think you guys have kids or any of that shit. So like,
no,
you can
not
go,
yet.
You can go hard right now.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what we're trying to do, right?
Yeah, fuck you guys. So this is gonna air on Monday. So you guys, when's your first date? The 10th?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this kind of works out great too, because we're releasing a CD of the whole back catalog with Pink Lemonade on the 9th.
Wow, perfect.
So we can kind of delve into that a little bit too if you want.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's it's cool. It's kind of I don't know if I was talking about this last night, but just like meeting you guys, I did actually in the intro. It's like, you know, soap bubbles, when two soap bubbles connect and then they become one bubble.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, I heard of you guys through the Dead Ranch guys, and then we played with you, and now you're like, we're working together with Pink Lemonade. It's fucking cool.
I know. It's weird because, like, I knew of, Sabatini and then Grabert long before I knew you. So it was kind of funny to, like that show we played in Cambridge, I was super stressed out because the band was all fucked up. And then I come inside and we played, and I thought the set was pretty sick. And then I'm introduced to you, and I'm just like, oh my God, this night is the most roller coaster of my life.
Yeah, fuck, man. Yeah, it's cool though. It's like, I don't know. It's always cool to meet people doing the same type of thing. Like it's a struggle, and it helps when you like have people also struggling alongside with you. And like, man, you guys are fucking really going hard. And looking on Facebook and looking back, like it's been pretty consistent that you guys have been touring, right?
Yeah, we've been trying. Yeah. I mean, it's a weird thing for us out here where we can only really tour one direction.
Yeah.
You know, like we can only go the one way.
Yeah, that's right.
So it kind of makes it a little interesting to try and like keep things different and trying to hit new spots, but also trying to grow those communities and the spots that, I mean, we can't go anywhere without New Brunswick. So we got to make New Brunswick work somehow. So I feel like we've done pretty good at like building our communities in the little spots there, and the people in the towns that we do play are wicked, so we can't ask for anything more.
Yeah, I forget, like Halifax is not the tip, like, you know, Cape Breton's kind of the tip, but it is, you guys are east.
Yeah, like, unless you're flying to Newfoundland or going up to Cape Breton, like you can't really go much further unless you're going to Europe.
When you guys like started touring, were there any people you went to for advice? Like, because when I think of East Coasters, there's like the Hard Charger guys and like B.A. Johnson, but I think he's over here now. Like, was there any local cats that you're like, hey, what should we do?
Honestly, we kind of just went deep end first. Like, I don't think we had enough connection with any of those people to reach out at, like, we could now because we know, you know, the Hard Charger guys, they're who we talk to in Fredericton anyways, right? So we're starting to know all the people again now, but when we started, we just kind of were like, well, we have some East Coast friends in Montreal that can do a show for us. Let's just piece it together, right?
What would you say? When was the first tour? Was it 2014?
What are we now? 2018? I think it was 2015. Labor Day weekend 2015. We did Ottawa and Montreal, just 2 shows. That was it.
That was
we didn't know.
Super fun though.
Oh yeah, it was wicked. I mean, We didn't know anything we were doing. We played a matinee in Ottawa and then went to Harpfest to see No Warning because that was the reunion show for No Warning.
Oh, cool.
And I remember we saw Shia Lud.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to love that band when I was a kid, and it was so miserable, man. Like, it was
Why?
depressingly bad. It was just nobody was into the band, and they were struggling so hard to connect with the crowd. And it was just seeing a band that I looked up to, like, as a kid, just like struggling so hard. I was just like,
those guys
damn.
are like older dudes. They've been doing it for a minute. And
yeah, I think there's only one original guy left.
I wonder, man. When I think of the MySpace days of bands that were like big then, like which of them are still like? I know Every Time I Die still do a lot of stuff, but like, you know, or even like Unearthed, like where are they on that level of?
Yeah, like I don't know. It's like even this summer, the Acacia Strain came through, and we played with them, and I didn't even realize they were still going.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea. Like, I mean, I listened to them back in junior high, but I was just like, oh, these guys are still doing this.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy. Like, because there's like that sort of trajectory that, like, I feel I swung as hard as I could to like tour and like somehow hit a stride where the band was like a big band, but never really hit that stride. But there's bands who do, you know, like that were like big bands that are still doing shit now. Like, you know, a band like Slipknot are fucking enormous.
Yeah.
But how many bands were like on that trajectory but like fell off and then are playing, playing Gus's Pub.
Yeah.
When they used to like headline some big shit.
That'd be a graph to see for sure. Because you never know, right? Because like those bands, had they just like tried one more step, maybe they would have got there, right?
Man,
like it's such a hit or miss. You never know.
Oh, that's it. You could be the best band, but just wrong timing or who knows, man. Yeah, there's no fucking manual to do it. But I think the old school way of just getting your ass out there still helps.
I think it's necessary. It's totally necessary. Like, how are you to be a band and not present yourself and your music? Like, you can't just... I mean, there is the exception of a few bands that get this weird internet hype and they're just huge out of nowhere. But I don't think that ever really lasts unless you're pushing at the same time.
A handful of bands' music is undeniably like amazing. That kind of substitutes for touring. But for all of us, like little bands, it's like, well, I don't have a manager. You guys don't have like a manager. Or I don't know,
I mean,
like,
we have a friend who manages us and he helps, but we're not like on a management company or anything like that.
But I really like that about bands that just fucking do it. Like that aren't waiting. Like we need this, we need that. It's like, well, just because it reminds me of me, where it's like we don't know what we're doing, but we know we want to do it. And I see that with you guys, like the consistent touring, and then even like Sled Island. It's like, damn, you guys are like really.
Yeah, I mean, we're I can't say we're young, but we're not old, and like we're right at this point where it's like, well, might as well just push it now, because like I don't want to be 35 and be like, fuck, man, I should have tried a couple tours, or I should have played that show in Calgary, or I should have spent the money that I would have spent on something else to go down to the States with a visa or fly across and play Europe. Like, why wouldn't I? Like, what am I going to do? Sit here and think about how I should have done that? Like,
I know, man. Today, like, I'm happy. I'm really proud of all the work that all my bands have done, but I forget that it's not the norm to do band stuff. I forget, because that's the norm. Like today I was at a buddy's retirement at my work, and old faces that I haven't seen for like 10 years, and like, oh, you still playing like in your band? It's like, yeah, I still am, but you can kind of see it that they're like, you're really still playing?
Yeah.
But I get it, because I'm in my bubble of people like us, right, that are just like, let's just do it. And
it's this like relentless like attempt, right?
Relentless attempt, yeah.
I kind of know what you mean, because I'm 10 years out of high school, and I'll like, I'll log on to Facebook or whatever, and I'll see all my old friends from high school who are like getting married, having kids, all this stuff, and I'm like, damn, like I don't even think about that stuff. Like that is so, like, literally my day, even at work, all I think about is like, is the tour ready?
Yeah.
Is all of our gear ready? Is the van good to go? What do we need to do? Are we going to be prepared? Or like, oh, there's a new podcast out. Your new podcast is out. I'm going to listen to that because I'll probably learn something that I didn't know that is kind of crucial. Like, everything revolves around the bubble, you know, like you're just stuck and you're just like, it's such a great thing, but I can only imagine someone on the outside looking in and trying to figure out what the fuck we see.
This last weekend, we were on our way from Montreal to Quebec City, and it was like terrible. It took like 4 hours. It should have taken like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Really shitty snow, slush. And I laughed. Me and Mark were just laughing. Like, we're gonna go play 20-minute set. Like, how many people would think we're out of our goddamn minds?
Yeah, like,
ugh. Like I used to.
You know, you can understand why people look at you like, what?
Yeah,
like,
I get it.
Okay,
man. I get it. But I think at least for you, like I am 35 and I have stepped kind of out of the band thing, but I wish I had a skill, man. Like the fact that you have like welding, like I think down the road will be huge for you.
We really, I don't know. I hate to say this because I basically heard the guys in Chem Mode say it, but we did it kind of backwards, right? Like we got stuff situated so that we could try this, and then if it fails, we're still gonna be fine. And you know, like
I get it, man. But even to say like if it fails, I think it would only fail if you chose to stop. Like, you know, I wish I would have had some skills, but only because then it just would make doing it easier. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna stop doing this, but it's harder to do. Like where I wish I had even just a simpler skill that could pay me more money just for life.
Yeah,
you know, I wonder, because how many of us or our buddies have stopped doing it, and there's like a handful of us that I don't think will ever stop. Maybe you will, but like I
don't know. I always wonder, like you know, if Botfly broke up tomorrow, like I would start a band. I would try to start a band right away because making music is like my own therapeutic thing, which I'm sure anyone who would listen to this can relate to.
Yeah.
But it's like, would I try and hop in the van right away and start like trying to make that out? Like, you know, we're almost 5 years in and I feel like we're just taking the first step. You know, it's like we've done a lot, but like all of that is all just figuring out what to do to get to the first step.
Yeah, wow, it is, man. And I feel
so like to think about starting another band right now and trying to get to that first step again. Like,
yeah, for real, dude. It'd be way harder to start from scratch. Like I have the skills to do it, but I really don't want to start a new band ever again.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I mean, I would love to play in other bands that I didn't have to do the writing for, you know, because like, or any of the booking or any of that stuff, because one is enough for that. For sure.
Man. So you're the band dad, would you say?
No, I would say we're all very equal on that point. Like, there's definitely, I mean, there's only 3 of us, so it's not that hard to be on top of everything, but we all have our own roles for sure.
Who does what? Like, is it like you count the merch, make sure we got merch, or like, how do you normally see it breaking down?
So basically, the business aspect is a full communication of the 3 of us. So like anything that we don't do without fully discussing it as a band. As far as booking, I take care of about 90% of the booking. There's some stuff around town that Dwayne will usually take care of. And then he is usually in charge of making sure our finances are good, like making sure that, you know, when we're selling merch, we're selling it at a reasonable price, but still making a good profit and all that kind of stuff. And so between him and I taking care of that and Sean keeping us in check and sane, then that's pretty much how it breaks down to those levels.
Is it hard to relinquish some of that control? Because with the Sabs, like Shawnee is the creative guy and I was kind of the back end guy. And those guys always said like, we'll help book Europe or book but I had a hard time letting go of some control. Like,
yeah, there's like, cause well, like
is
when
that a
you
thing?
do it, when you're the person who does that and like you've made those connections and then you're like, but like, is the conversation going to go the same way? Like, yeah, it's definitely hard cause you have a flow that you go through and you talk to the person and you know them already, you know how it's going to go. And then you're getting that information. So I definitely have a bit of control freakness to me when it comes to that stuff, which I am very open with to those guys. Cause I'm like, look, if I'm starting to get too much or bug you, please let me know. Cause I don't want a hostile environment, and neither the three of us do. Right.
No.
So we don't ever want to get on each other's nerves. So we're really good at keeping ourselves in check.
Now, how
But
about,
I think,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I was just going to say, I think the way we have the roles played out in our band really works, and we don't really need to switch anything around just to like give someone else a chance, because we all do what we do really well.
That's good, man. I think that I think touring can break a lot of bands, but you guys have been on the road, and yeah, whatever balance works. If that works, like, why fuck with it, man? Because I feel the road can be testy for some people, and anything
I feel
to
like
ease the trip.
a lot of stories that I hear where people like really start getting into fights or stuff is like not taking care of yourself. Like, you partying maybe too much, so you're on edge a little more. And like for us, and I mean, you can relate with Grabert, we're a few amount of people, so there's not a whole lot of combativeness in opinion. Because like I can only imagine being in a van with 5 or 6 people.
Imagine 6 guys. Fuck.
Oh, no way. Couldn't do it. So I think that's what keeps us happy, is like, I mean, we're all incredibly close and we all have a huge respect for each other, but we don't like party or anything. So we're not like on edge. And if we are on edge, we're pretty good at like backing off on each other and not pushing each other's nerves too much while still having fun. Cause you gotta
yeah, totally. The, thinking about like relinquishing power and control, like would you say you're the main songwriter?
Yeah, for sure.
So when it comes to that, like I do think, like I just think about the Sabs, like Shawnee is the spear point of the band creatively, and we all put our pieces in. How does it work with you if you're the main? Because I don't write songs, I'm the drummer, so I don't really know how that process works, where you're like, here's my vision of a song and I trust you to put your pepper on it. How does it work for you guys?
Yeah, so like for me, this is gonna have kind of a few answers to it. So for me, like I don't sit down and I write a full song and have the full bass lines and have the drum. Like I don't do that. I have riffs that I can imagine sounding a certain way with how I know that those two will play to it. So oftentimes a riff that I'll have, once I start showing it to them, it'll change in that instance. So it becomes a very communal writing process, even though it kind of starts with me. Like I do not write songs with lyrics already in mind. Like I've never been able to do that. It's always an afterthought.
Okay.
Usually it's, I'm sure your phone's notes have a million notes in there of little ideas or like half written songs or whatever. So usually once I have a riff and we start working on that riff and the song starts taking form, then either words will start coming to me and whatnot, or else I'll start going through my notes and be like, oh yeah, this can fit in there and that kind of stuff. But really it's the way we work is, I'll come with something and then Sean and Dwayne will be like, okay, well here's like the backbone of what we're going to work off of. Now let's kind of like take this piece out and put that in and change this timing a little bit. And so it is quite communal now. Obviously when the band first started, I had this vision of what I wanted. So I was kind of, this is how I want this is how I want that. But at this point in time, I mean, if they can bring a riff and we can work on that, even if Dwayne wrote a guitar line and was like, yo, I want to do this, like, that's awesome. Cause the more ideas, the better.
Yeah. It's, interesting to think of the whole process again, cause I don't do it, but it is a question of like, where do you kind of put your foot down? Where like, no, I think this is right. Where they're like, I think this is right. Like, how often are you like trusting them versus them trusting you?
I'd say it's about a 50-50. Like we're really good at, like, say someone was like, I think we should try it this way. I'll very gladly be like, okay, well, let's try it that way and see how that feels. Like, to me, the way the song feels is more important than my stronghold of my idea, if you know what I mean. Like, I think the way I've viewed this band and how it's been for me is very much emotional therapy. So if the song feels better a different way, I'd rather that, because the song's going to be better that way. And I feel like we'll connect with it, and other people will connect with it better that way.
Word. Cool. When it, I'm trying to, with these things, I try to keep them, like, I have questions. I'm trying to, like, weave it in and out, but
yeah, I go on major tangents
no, it's all
too.
good,
So
man. My questions aren't even, like, chronological or anything, so I'm just gonna go through, like, kind of what I was thinking at the time. But yeah, with songwriting, the tunes are really catchy. Like, that's the thing I found with you guys. I don't know if there's a lot of noise rock acts out east, but
there's none.
I was gonna say, I don't feel like there are any. There's, like, straight up metal or folk,
hardcore,
or
hardcore,
punk. Yeah,
everything's very, like, definitive. Like, there's no, well, I shouldn't say there's no, but there isn't a whole lot of, like, we're a little bit of this, and this. It's like, okay, we're a stoner rock band. Okay, we're a hardcore band. Okay, we're a metalcore band. Okay, we're a punk band. Okay, we're a crust band. Like, it's just very, like, this is what we are. Here's our 2 releases. Now we're breaking up. Done.
So how do you guys do out east? Like, it's hard to picture. Like, a Sabs, I guess we're kind of in the same vein, but how is it when you guys play out east? It's been a minute since, like, Sabs have been out there, so I wonder.
We have done better than I ever thought we would, because, I mean, like you said, when we started, we were the only kind of band doing what we do. But we're capable of jumping on the punk show or the hardcore show or the metal show. Like, we're capable of kind of fitting in all these little pockets. So that really actually helped us out, and it kind of grew our fan base a bit too, because people who wouldn't normally listen to maybe one of our influences likes another part of us, so they're still interested. So we've been able to do really well. I mean, for a band at our size, we're not an accessible band. We're still an aggressive. Like,
what's your take on the, sorry to interject, but the ECMAs? Like, have you guys been nominated for that?
Man, I couldn't care less about that shit.
I'm honestly, so confused, because, like, it's like, yeah, do people not care? People care.
People care, and it's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and shit on something that's, like, our province or the provinces around are stoked that there's music here and they want to give out awards, but it's such a fucking circle jerk of the same shit just pass through. Like, it's really unfortunate, because, I mean, as far as heavy music's considered, if you're not, like, a metal band that resembles Kiss, basically, like, you're not even getting looked at.
It's interesting. It is cool. Like, I get it. Like, if I was I'm sure if you guys got nominated, you wouldn't be like, we're not doing, or maybe you would, I don't know, but I know I would do any sort of recognition. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, I can't sit here and shit on it, because any recognition at any degree is awesome, because you're making art, and art is hard enough on its own. And if somebody wants to say good job, then hell yeah, I'm gonna take that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Do you guys feel like you're underdogs out there then? Like,
I mean, let's put it this way. Our local, like, music paper just did their yearly best of, and one of the categories is best band to listen to loud, and we weren't even in it.
Interesting. That's a weird
and we're, like, the loudest band in the East Coast, basically. So, like, I don't want to sit here and, like, pity party myself as if we're underdogs, but I think we definitely get looked over, considering how much, like, nobody from here tours like we tour. Nobody from here puts out merch like we do, puts out music like we do. I mean, in 5 years, we've put out over 30 songs, which maybe to somebody doesn't sound that much, but when you think about it, that's that's a pretty good amount of music.
Well, it's hustling. It's hustling on both ends where you're gigging and writing music.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're playing 50 shows a year and we're writing another record still. So like,
Keeping
you
busy.
know,
Yeah.
and working full-time jobs.
Yeah. I feel that there's just types of musicians, and there's those who just keep their head down and kind of just push. And others who are kind of yelling loudly like, hey, look what I'm doing,
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like you guys had toured out this way, but I didn't really know, till I was just looking into the band. And I want to actually just jump off that to Sled Island. So you applied and you got on, because I've never done it, and everyone's done it. It's like, what was that like? How was it that weekend?
It was amazing. So it was funny. We applied just as like a whatever, like if we get in, we'll figure it out. And so we got the acceptance email and we're like, we can't afford to do that. Because it was, it was like $650 a plane ticket round trip each person.
God damn, yeah.
To play one show for a guarantee of $100, that's pretty hard to justify, right? So, but we basically were like, we got the opportunity. Why the hell wouldn't we do it? I mean, what is that money? If we can do it, let's just do it. We'll make that money back someday. It doesn't matter. So we took the gamble and we did it, and it ended up being really wicked because a band here called Cryptorips, who couldn't go other than the one guy, Mark Mullane, who was in North of America. I don't know if
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, so he wanted to go, so Cryptorips could go, but the rest of the band couldn't go, so we ended up being the backing band for him to play his 2 shows along with our 1 show.
Oh, wow.
So instead of going all the way out there to play 1 show, we actually played 3 shows, which was pretty rad.
So 1 with Botfly and 2 with Homie.
Exactly. So that was a lot of fun learning his set. So we had to learn 6 songs we knew nothing of, and they were not easy. They're like really mathy kind of shit. So that was a task in its own, but we went out there, we were there for 2.5 days and just,
where did you guys end up playing? Which venue?
We played the Palomino.
Okay.
Botfly played the Palomino upstairs. Cryptorips played the Palomino parking lot. So it was my first outdoor show, which was cool as hell. I was super into that. And we also played Tubby Dog.
Oh, sick. You guys did Tubby Dog.
Yeah, with Cryptorips. So that's even funny, too, because we all worked that day, then caught the, 5-hour plane ride out there, then got picked up by the festival, brought right to Tubby Dog, and had to play.
Oh, so the festival picked you guys up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, because, he was scheduled to play. Cryptorips was scheduled to play, and we weren't landing till, I think we landed at 8, and we were playing at 9:30.
How'd that gig go?
I think it was sick.
That's cool, man. That's a cool little spot.
But I this is a thing that kind of goes back to what we were talking about just grinding. Cause we went out there and had a wicked time at a cost that I don't even think about anymore. But we had a great weekend. We met the guys in Life in Vacuum who are buddies now, and that that's a band that I looked up to, and now they're my friends, so that's super cool. And I have memories that I won't ever forget.
Yeah, well, I think it's an investment, because for
we
me,
also got lucky because we got the Factor Showcase grant, so that kind of paid for half of our flights. So
cool.
That was really wicked too.
Man, it's for me as an outsider and not knowing you guys well, when it's boop, Sled Island, it's kind of oh, it's this weird thing, because I saw you guys and I listened. Firstly, the music's great, and I see you guys.
Thank
you guys
you.
are cool. You guys are great, and then I see that Sled Island also approved of this band. There's this sort of I don't know. It means something. At the same time, it doesn't mean something. But I think if you view it as an investment in yourself and in your band, I don't know.
It's cool to put on the resume, right? Because not everybody can say that they went and did that. Not everybody can say that they played a showcase in Calgary and they headlined their stage just underneath Cherubs, who were just coming back after a 20-year hiatus and put out a wicked record. You know, that's just cool to be able to say, and that might mean nothing to 90% of the people I know, but that other 10%, like they get that.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
And I even think it could help with grants, you know, and
Yeah,
like that
absolutely.
type of stuff, like industry type shit. That's the kind of like investment where it's like, yeah, might not have made sense, but if this led to this, which led to that, what led to that, you know, 10 years down the road, it might be this big ripple effect.
Absolutely. And even just getting the Factor grant for that showcase, it's like, okay, so we're in the system now, so they know that they funded us once, so getting money is now easier. And I mean, don't get me wrong, money or no money from the government, we're going to do everything we want to do anyways, because you know, we've never been a band that's dependent on other people's approval or help or anything. It's just we want to do this stuff, and hopefully somebody cares enough to help us out and book a show. And if not, then I guess we're playing to nobody.
What when you think back to what do you remember about the first Botfly show? Where was it, and what's the story?
It was at a local place here called Plan B, which was like a antique thrift shop that had a room in the back that the owner would rent out to us for $35 a night. We had to bring our own PA, and we had shows there for years. It only just shut down, actually.
Sorry, is that beneath Men's and Molly's?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the one. So in the back room of that place was a little room that never got used for anything other than basically art installations, or, you know, you could rent it out. So anybody that wanted to do something could do it. So before Dwayne was in the band, he had just moved back home from PEI, and he was doing shows. So he wanted to put on a show for us. It was our first show. And it was like a total like shred metal show that made no sense for us to be on, but I was super excited. You know, this was the first time I've ever been doing vocals in a band, and like, so I had a lot of nerves going on, and you know, I was presenting raw emotion that I hadn't really shown or told people about in my lyrics and everything. So it was a whirlwind, and I remember Sean blanked on one song, and he messed up a bunch, and I didn't even know. Like, I didn't care. I was so in the zone of what we were doing that it didn't bother me at all. And he came up to me after the show, and he was so mortified to tell me that he messed up, because he was so passionate about the project that he felt that bad that he had done something wrong. And I was like, oh man, don't even worry about it. Like, I mess up all the time. Like, you know, this is not a pristine, polished thing. Like, this is what it is, and that's the way it'll always be, right? So that's Plan B. We did a lot of shows there.
Yeah, I didn't play there, but I remember there was a show happening there when we did a gig at that Men's and Molly's place. I was like, I was almost like, I don't think I'd rather just play down here than upstairs.
Yeah.
It was a fine gig, but maybe it was the stairs. I'm like, I don't want to do these fucking stairs.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a back way into Men's and Molly's, and there's only like 3 stairs involved.
Oh,
so
fuck. Of course,
next time. Yeah.
I'll get the in through you guys.
Yeah.
Have you guys, do you ever say no to a show? Have you ever like canceled on a show?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If things don't line up morally, we won't do it. We've had, I don't want to dive too far into these things because they're kind of in the past and don't need to worry about it, but we've dropped off shows because someone somewhere said something that was inappropriate. It never got dealt with properly, or was being swept under the rug. We don't play at Gus's anymore.
Oh, word.
Because there's issues we have with that place that, I mean, anyone from Halifax already knows about. And most touring bands that come through and ask us, we are very straight up with why we won't play there.
Interesting.
And it's, there's just a lot of sketchy, gross shit that happens there, and it just goes unacknowledged. I've heard that they're doing their best to, you know, get away from that kind of stuff. So the best of my knowledge, that's something I can say that they're trying, but for us, we're better off without stirring that pot.
Yeah.
So yeah, so saying no to shows, I mean, as long as there's nothing really wrong with the show, then we'll play it. I've got no issues with it.
So where's that line? Just because in thinking of these, there's a gig we played in the States where went to the venue, no show. There was like a yoga class. Kid showed up to the venue, was like, oh, the show got moved. We're like, okay. Went to this other venue, no locals. And kind of through the bar, they're like, yeah, this kid just called us like half hour ago. And we were like, okay, we're not going to play this show. Mm-hmm. You ever have something like that where it's like, you could play the show. There is a show.
No, because like, I mean, I don't know how well you know Nova Scotia, but like we've gone down to Bridgewater, which is like an hour out of town.
I might have played there. I think I might have played a fire hall there once.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. So we played some bar to literally 3 people. Like even the other bands didn't watch us. But it was live streamed on YouTube, so maybe somebody out there was watching.
One guy fucking beating off accidentally, like went to YouTube. Like, what the
fuck? But yeah, no. To us, it's like it's all a moral thing because, like, for us playing live or even writing music, like it's all such an emotional thing. I mean, I remember that Bridgewater show, we were going to it knowing no one was going to be there, but Dwayne was going through something pretty heavy, and it was just like a good way for him to kind of cope with what was going on. So we hopped in a vehicle and we went down there and
smashed and yelled, and yeah.
Oh man, it was gnarly. I blew my amp up on the first song. So I had to take Sean's amp, and then Sean plugged right into the PA and destroyed the PA.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. So that, yeah.
I try to remember.
But yeah, I mean, what do you do? I mean, like last tour when we met you, we played in Guelph to like 7 people.
Jimmy Jazz.
But there's no District.
Okay.
But it was a Monday night. It was, you know, what do you do? And there's 7 people there, and you want to play.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like, well, yeah, we're gonna play.
Yeah, I'm lucky because I have shitty eyes and I'm behind the drum kit, so unless people are like cheering, I don't really know a difference. I know no one's there, but it helps. I'm not up front like you guys, where I'm like screaming to nobody. Yeah, District's a big place.
Yeah, it was a big we got really screwed over on that tour in Montreal too.
Oh, what happened?
We were scheduled to play with Wake and Withered, which is funny because I was listening to your episode with
Kyle.
Yeah. And he was like talking about just about to go on that tour or whatever. So we got linked up with those guys to play that show, and I was so excited because like that record ripped.
No doubt.
I was like, oh fuck, this show is gonna be awesome. So we get to the venue. There's 5 other metal shows going on the same block and a metal festival across the street.
Great.
And like there's 20 people that showed up to our show at Casa de Popolo, and like 15 of those were our friends. So it's just like you could tell those guys were like totally bummed, and I was like, oh, this show is such a bust. But like I got to see some cool bands and I got to play to my friends, so you know.
Yeah, shit. Well, without that mentality, I think a tour will eat people up quick if they're not real with
exactly. I mean, you got to be able to swallow the hard pill, you know, because you'll hear people who are real about it say it all the time. Like, tour's not easy. It's not like difficult to tour. It's the mental strain that is not easy. Like, because you know, only 10% of your shows are fucking wicked. And the rest of it is like, okay, we got enough money to get to the next place.
How do you guys do it with cash? Is it merch goes to merch, gas goes to gas, or do you pull it all together?
It's all together. Yeah. We keep a tally. Like we have spreadsheets. We have like a binder that we take with us, and we count what we sold in merch and what we made off the door, just so we know, so that it's not like, okay, we left 2 weeks ago with this much money and now we have this much money. It's like at least we can follow like a line of like where we were making money off the door, what city liked to buy stuff off us. Like it just kind of helps break down the stats of touring.
Yeah. Well, it's arming yourself with more knowledge to make better decisions. I think
Exactly.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
With your set, do you guys do the same set every night, or do you vary it?
Usually we'll switch the set 4 times a year.
Okay.
So like we'll like section it off into sections like that. But recently, with the back catalog coming out, we've kind of like tried to pull from everything, as opposed to like the last few tours. We've obviously been pushing the new record we put out. So now that we have the back catalog, we've kind of like created 2 sets. One a little more like atmospheric and down, as like we like to be, and then there's one that's a little more like aggro and hardcore. Like, so depending on the show, we can flip between the 2, which I think will really benefit us, because some people who are there to see a hardcore show maybe don't want to see a more post rock kind of thing.
Yeah, and I get being flexible. It could be either or. We're just like, this is who we are. Fuck you,
take
if you
it or
don't
leave
like
it.
it, or like, let's just, these are our songs. You're not just one-sided. Yeah. I can see both sides of it. So you'll have 2 kind of always ready to go, or that's the new sort of thing.
I think that's gonna be our regular thing from now on. Especially like, we plan on doing longer tours, and it'd be nice to have 2 sets so that you're not playing 3.5 weeks the same thing over and over again. Unless it feels right. If it feels right, then do it, right?
Yeah. I like the same set just to not think about it,
Yeah, like, absolutely.
But
and like, don't get me wrong, like the 2 sets are probably only 4 songs different. So there is some songs that bridge both sets. So it's not like this. It's not like we're touring with like 20 songs under our belt.
Jesus.
It's like,
let's do.
It's like, I think it's 11 songs, and we only play like 7 of them or something like that.
What do you think is a good set length for a touring band?
See, this is a good question, because I feel like a lot of people do this wrong. You should 25, 27 minutes.
25, 27. Like
right in that sweet spot of like, if someone's not really into you, like they're not like, oh my God, this band's still going. If someone is into you, then they're like, oh, I wish I had more. Right? Because there's nothing worse than being like, oh, this band's pretty cool. Oh, this band's been playing for 40 minutes.
Totally.
And you're like, this is just like, when does it, like, you never want people to be like, when is this going to be over?
I can picture shows where I'm up front like, this rules, and then fast forward, to 45 minutes, and I'm just on my phone at the merch table, like angry, like, fuck, yeah. I like that, but fuck these guys.
And like on the other end too, like, and no shots at any of the bands that do this, but like, like a 10-12 minute set, like, damn,
that's pretty gnarly. That's
like, even just to commit to touring on a set that long, like, damn, dude.
No doubt. I know.
Like,
I know. Like, fuck.
Like, I think it was like Hoax. Longer. Like Hoax would do like a 10-minute set or something.
So crazy. You ever see that footage of those guys in like a recycling center? They're playing a set, and there's like, it's literally in like, looks like a recycling center. It's just like a warehouse with fucking empty bottles everywhere.
Oh, geez.
I should actually, every episode I'll send a newsletter with like references, so I'll have to remember to like put that in the newsletter, because it's fucking pretty awesome. But yeah, 10-12 minutes, like, goddamn, imagine flying all the way to like Europe and doing 10-minute sets.
That's what I mean. Like, oh man, like that's when you're really talking about an investment, because it's like, fuck, dude.
Is it hard to even get a sweat in 10 minutes?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm like 2 minutes in and I'm drenched, so I don't got to worry about that.
What's your gear breakdown?
Ooh, so I play mainly a Rickenbacker, hollow body, 330 and for anyone is.
Yeah, this is for other people because I'm a half-head drummer. So
I'll
let you take the stage.
I can't tell you shit about drums, and I can tell you everything about our guitar and bass rig. So
a Rickenbacker, yeah.
Yeah, I play a Rickenbacker hollow body, which honestly, I don't know how the thing is still in one piece because it has literally been dragged through the coals. Into a variety of pedals. 80% of them are just like overdrives and fuzz pedals because that's all I really care about. And then the tour you saw us on, I would have been running. I always have an Ampeg V4 from the 70s. That's like my go-to. That's been with me since day one, basically. and I have a Marshall Super Lead from the 70s. And on that tour, I had 2 Trainer Vertical 412s, and then my Emperor 412 regular cabinet. And that was the guitar side. And then on the bass side, it was, Sean has a Mexican P bass, super run of the mill. Go down to Long McQuaid today and buy it for like $700. But we had a friend of ours route and put in a second pickup. At like an incredibly hot rating. So it's just like super gnarly, super distorted. And then he has a few drive pedals and a delay pedal just for like ambient shit that he runs into an Ampeg V9, also from the 70s, which is like a 400 watt SVT styled amp. And he'll run that through an Emperor 212 and an Emperor 412. And then he has some piece of shit PV Windsor Marshall knockoff thing that he'll run into an Emperor 215.
Word.
And we run everything on all the way as loud as it can go all the time.
Is there like one pedal that if it was out of the chain, like is there one like crucial, or a couple pedals that are crucial, or is it all like part of the stew?
Basically, the way I run my stuff is nothing's like a distortion pedal. It's all just like stuff that pushes the amp to a higher amount of like about to break up, like about to fall apart. So like any overdrive pedal stacked on top of 3 or 4 overdrive pedals will do it. So really, I don't have anything I necessarily need, but the stuff that I do have definitely works really well for what I do.
Word.
But I will say the Earthquaker Devices Afterneath reverb pedal, I rely on that a lot. That's a really cool out there reverb pedal that like a lot of people are usually like you see the gear people at the show and they're just like, whoa, what was that?
The gear
right?
guys after the set,
well, you know, like
stumble
Guillaume,
in the front, like whoa.
Guillaume from Broken Chord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's always on me about what I'm using. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I just saw those guys. Those guys are the best.
But yeah, I'm gonna plug a little thing. The fact that it's silly to say that we're touring with a smaller rig now because it's still like, Sean's gonna be using a 215 and a 412, but I'm only gonna be using 2 412s because I got another Emperor cab.
Oh, word! Wow.
And we kind of have like a little endorsement with them, which is pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
So we're gonna have a full Emperor backline now. So
that's sick, man.
Yeah, it's gonna look really good.
Emperor, are they from Philly?
No, Chicago.
Okay, yeah. I think I met the guy who makes them. He was touring with Indian.
Cool.
We did a gig, actually. Yeah, that was an interesting story because some bum stole like the drum gear from the back of the van as they were loading, and there was a big face-off. And, I remember it was a pretty like memorable night because a bunch of shit was going. Chicago. Okay, that's fucking dope, man. A whole backline.
Yeah, I hope that when we tour down to Chicago next year that we can do like a little factory visit or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Like it's like going to the toy store, but you're like
pretty much
late 20 like fucking giggers. Before shows, this is something I experiment with, like a pre-show shit. Is there any pre-show shit, any routine that you stick to, or is it's just like, okay, we're up, let's go?
Ideally, we'd like to stretch. Dwayne's really good at stretching. Sean and I aren't so good at stretching. I'll go try and get on myself for that because I think that's a pretty crucial thing, especially as we're getting older now. Like, things start tensing up. Sleeping on floors is not comfortable. So stretching is going to be a big one. But I think just like, I like to sit at the merch table because then people know that I'm in the band if they want to come talk to me. Like I'm there, but I like to try and mingle a little bit. Just like, you're in a different town. Mm-hmm. You want to make friends with the people there because you're there for a certain reason. You might as well meet the people that are local to the place. And hopefully when you come back, they come back too. Cause not only do they hopefully like your band, but they hopefully like you as a person.
Yeah. So no real...
No, it's not like, okay, I got to go do a vocal warm up 20 minutes before my set. None of that stuff. No. I probably should, but I
Well,
don't.
it's just whatever works for people. Now, how about like alcohol, sober shows? Like, do you play sober?
Sober shows, yeah, sober shows.
And then drink after, if that's the case?
Yeah, I mean, none of us are really heavy drink. I mean, every tour, every place we go, we get beer tickets, and I think we use maybe one per night. Like, usually, well, I mean, Sean and I are the only ones who drive, and there's only 3 of us. So that eliminates being able to get drunk because we have to drive.
True.
And playing drunk is sloppy and can be fun.
I was gonna say,
But
and it can be pretty fun. Yeah.
I don't attribute our music to the kind of music that like coincides with sloppy fun drunk playing. Like yeah, we might be a punk band, noise rock band or whatever, but we're not like rocking, you know, like we're not like beer drinking rocking and stuff. And somebody may disagree with me, and that's totally fine. But the way I see it, and it's not like we ever sat down, we're like, we can't drink before we play. It's just all 3 of us are like, no, I don't want to do that before we go and do this thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's either or. I feel it could even depend on the night, right? If no one's really there, or if it's kind of vibing and your friends are there. And that's where I get trouble is I'll be a fun, friendly, vibey show, and I'm like hanging, and then I'm like, fuck, I gotta play, and I'm like half in the bag right now. Fuck. Forgot that I was supposed to rip a gig.
I used to play bass in a band. It was a more rock style band, and we played Canadian Music Week once, and I got fucking hammered before we played. And I was just rocking so hard on stage, and I almost puked so many times. I think after that night, I was like, oh, I can't be doing this, dude.
Fuck, I got some buddies.
Yeah, garbage band, yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, shit. Sorry, guys, people listening. Just took a quick shit. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like we all know like the same cats like Chara and fucking, oh, god damn. There's so many names I could think of back in the day. All those who the fuck else was out there? Get Bodied.
Pest Control.
Pest Control. Well, Uncle, those guys.
Uncle, yeah. Did you know Akuzma?
Akuzma, no.
Yeah.
Maybe. I bet you Mark would know, but.
Do you know J Mike?
J Mike. Doesn't.
Well, you know Shado. Matt Shado from Uncle. Yeah. Well, he played guitar in Akuzma for a bit.
Okay. Fuck. Well,
Calvin Mahanahan.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I think we did a house show with them once in PEI.
Cool.
I think.
Those guys are fucking rad.
All you East Coast
I miss
people,
that band a lot.
Everyone from the East Coast is pretty rad for them. All the people I've met, anyways. Not everyone, I'm sure.
Thank you. Yeah, there's suspect shit everywhere.
Everywhere, man. Well, listen, man, I do these about this long, and then I'll do the Hibzine where I play some music you guys play.
Dude, is that where that drum thing comes in?
Yeah, and that was funny. That was we were in Europe touring, and we decided to like quickly make a grindcore band in the van, and Cormier was like doing terrible like gnarly vocals, and I just programmed guitar and shit. So that there's actually a version of that minus the guy saying the Hibzine. That's like a song with like MIDI distorted guitars. And it's terrible. But yeah, that's the part. But I wanted to do Yellow Bike Road, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that track fucking. I remember when I saw you guys, that was the one standout track for me. I was like, ooh, this is like mad tasty riffy.
Cool. It seems to be a lot of people seem to gravitate towards that one.
Yeah, let's put that in. I'll put it in after because I have to get it. But this is Yellow Bike Road off the self-titled LP, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll put that in right here. Yellow Bike Road by Botfly. That was Yellow Bike Road by Botfly. My buddy's a radio DJ out in Montreal.
Oh, does he have the voice?
It's weird because it did throw me off where I was like, oh shit, that's him. But it is the radio, the kind of the radio go like stoked, you know, like that you're listening voice.
And we're back.
The fuck is up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Actually, this works out perfect. So yeah, the guy who's gonna buy the muffler just texted me like, I'm leaving.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, but yeah, what we definitely need to do is shout out the dates because this is gonna come up the week you guys are here.
Oh yeah, let me pull those up so that I don't.
Yeah, I could hear.
Get that all wrong.
Yeah, give all the wrong dates.
Yeah, just totally fuck everything up.
Excuse me.
I mean, I'll probably still mess them up. It's not like it's hard to find on the internet.
It's always weird when people are like, how do you find your band? It's like, fucking Google it. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Like,
so easy.
When people don't understand that, like, Googling, well,
it's pretty easy.
With us, when you, like, Google Botfly, you can get some pretty gnarly shit.
Oh, yeah.
But if you put Botfly band,
that's it. That's all it takes.
You'll find everything you need to know. Yeah.
How do you? It's like, what are you talking about, man? This isn't like 98 Google. This is fucking. It's already read your mind. Just fucking think and it'll pop it up. I have the dates here. Yeah. Cool. November 10th is in Halifax. The 15th, Fredericton. Then 16th, Montreal. 17th, Guelph. I guess. Yeah, you have them there. You can shoot them up. What's after?
Yeah, St. Catharines.
Okay.
So on the 18th, we're in St. Catharines, and then the 19th, we're in Toronto, which is going to be Faith Void, which is pretty rad.
Oh, wait, what day are you there? The 19th?
Yeah, it's a Monday.
We're there on the 16th.
I know, like, we're kind of, like, missing each other just by a little bit. I'm kind of bummed about it.
High five on the 401.
Yeah. And then the 20th, we are doing a 3-9s thing.
Okay,
in Kitchener.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
The 20th, I'm going to write that down. Because I'm looking at the flyer, which is a sick flyer. I don't know who did the artwork, but...
our friend Paul Atwood.
Man, it's
PEI.
So tight.
Yeah, he did a wicked job. Yeah.
The 20th.
Anybody who needs some cool stuff for a good price, that's a guy to hit up.
20th. So is that a house show or is that like Chainsaw or something?
No, I think we're just doing like the radio show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're doing a live like...
I think we're going to do a couple tracks live.
Oh, dope. Okay, I'll tune in for
that.
That.
And if there's a house show to play, we'll definitely. So then on to the 21st, we're playing in Oshawa. Then the 22nd, we're down in Windsor, which was supposed to be the last show at the TBX, but apparently it's shutting down beforehand. So
yes.
So it's getting moved somewhere else. And then the 23rd, we're in Hamilton. The 24th, I think. We're doing another Montreal show. It's, some stuff kind of got switched around. It was supposed to be Quebec City, but
that's how it is.
Didn't really. Yeah. Quebec City's hard as hell to make anything work, and then we take the long trek back to Moncton, and then we're home the next day.
Sick. Where's the Moncton show? What venue?
We'll play at Plan B in Moncton.
Plan B, okay.
Yeah. Usually we do the Cavo, but they're not open on Sundays. So
okay. Cool, yeah. Everyone listening can easily find the dates, and like a lot of the people who listen like know you, so it's not gonna.
Oh, cool!
It's gonna be a big.
Yeah, I mean it's not hard to find Instagram or Facebook us and
What are those?
Everything's there.
Yeah, so it's
Botfly 902.
That's the Instagram, or is that that's everything?
That's Botfly 902 is the Instagram and Facebook.
Okay,
that's all we do. We don't need any other. Media platforms.
Yeah, no kidding.
Say the same thing over and over again.
I for this new Sabs record, I reinstated greatsabatini.com. It's like that's so easy to shout out.
I always forget that we have that. We have botfly.ca.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it's the thing.
And you can find literally everything there as well. So
one channel.
But I always forget that we have that because I'm not the one who deals with the website. So.
Whatever, man. But yeah, I guess people listening can fucking totally check out the gigs, get the record. It's rips, and it's dope that the Pink Lemonade are doing like a back catalog CD thing. Yeah,
we'll have the back catalog coming out real soon after this airs. So anybody who's interested, because I know we're kind of finishing up here, but I think a lot of people who know us now out your way don't get how we got to our sound, and the back catalog really showcases like kind of the growing pains and changes we kind of went through. So I think it's really important to me that we get that revamped into the world. So it's sick that it's going to come out as part of our 5-year anniversary of being a band.
Cool.
So I'm very excited about that.
How many tracks on that?
I think there's 18.
Damn. Okay. Wow. So it's like a good like whole collection.
It's and a lot of those songs, like every song we write is really dear and important to me, but those were some really tough times in my life, and that those songs really helped me not go down the black hole that I was definitely destined to go down, right? So I hold that stuff really close and dear to my heart, and you know, if someone else doesn't like it, that's cool, but that stuff means a lot to me. And if anybody wants to check it out and hopefully, you know, relate to it to some degree.
Well, I think maybe it's a fault of some people. Maybe fault's the wrong word, but an old song to you might not necessarily be an old song to someone else. So it could be fresh and it could just make them feel a certain way, even though it's 5 years old.
Absolutely.
So that's fucking really cool, man. Those Pink Lemonade guys are just sweethearts.
Oh, they're so about it.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
You know, like it's so nice to be working with people who are just interested in what you want to do with your band.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like I don't have a whole lot of label experience, but to have someone just be like, "Oh, you want to do this? We're going to help you."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Instead of being like, no, that doesn't line up with our schedule, or I don't want to put money into that. It's like, no, we believe in what you guys want to do, so we're going to help you out. And that's literally the most important thing you could ask for.
Big time. It's like it's you guys can both grow together type thing. It's not overwhelming on either party's behalf. And
we get to meet people like you. You know, now we're label mates and friends, and we're going to play a few shows with Hellbent, who are also label mates. Yeah. And so I mean, you know, just growing that community closer, because Canada's big, but there's not there's not that much going on, you know?
Yeah, it's huge, but like the scene is super tight knit. You know what I mean? Like you guys to Life and Vacuum to Wake to us, whatever. It's all a nice little family. But okay, cool. Trying to think if there's anything else so people can find the stuff. See you guys on tour. That's it, man. No, I'm glad we could do this, man. This is like a proper
thank
hang.
You.
No way, fucking
for sure. Hopefully we can, if we don't meet up on this tour, we'll... I'm
sure we will at some point, man.
We'll do something else another time, yeah.
Big time, man. Tell the guys I say hi, and then...
Absolutely.
I'll try to make it out to one of these gigs and high five you there.
Right on.
All right, peace, man. Have a good night.
Take care, dude.
Peace, buddy.
Bye.
Sick. That was the episode, guys. Thank you so much. These are up almost every Monday, mostly every Monday. If you know anyone who's interested in podcasts, tell them. At the beginning of the show, I talked about budgets for advertising, and I have really zero for that. So word of mouth is really important. Rate and review if you guys can on iTunes. Like the page, share the page, tag me in anything that might be relevant to someone who wants to check out the show or be on the show. Any help would be appreciated. And yeah, on that kind of note, let me ring off the sponsors. Heartbeat Hot Sauce. Use promo code TakerWide5 for 5% off your cart. Order big amounts, save tons of money. Just the fucking best hot sauce. So good. HeartbeatHotSauce.com. Dfa Tattoos. They're at 328 St. Catherine Est in Montreal. Go get tatted up by Shawnee and crew. You won't regret it. DFATattoos.com. Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota, the car salesman with the heart of gold. A good fucking dude. 3121 King Street East in Kitchener. Mention the show. Get special pricing on new vehicles. IroncladGraphics.com for your silk screening merch needs. They do everything, and they ship coast to coast, and they are affordable. So I throw their name 100% in the hat of merchandising companies. Go find them, check them out. DapperBeardOil.com. Use promo code TakerWide free ship and buy some beard oil. Try it out. Buy it for a friend. Mention it to someone who has a big ass beard and needs something so their beard doesn't stink. DapperBeardOil.com. Great shit. WellingtonBrewery.ca for the beers. DaveLevittPhotography.ca for the love and support. And yeah, my Instagram is there. The YouTube page is there. There's a lot of ways to get the show. Spotify, fucking Stitcher, all these obscure ones that no one uses or people use. But doing my best. Hope you guys dig the show. Tell a friend. All that shit. Hope you had a good Halloween. And what else? I don't know. There's no real proper way to close these, but I just appreciate the love. Call a friend this week. Tell them you love them. Spread some love, good vibes, positive shit. sure there's dark shit in life, and when it comes, it helps when you have good friends, and this community is great. And let me just, I don't know. That's it. I'm going to bed. Peace.